Hi, my name is Lucas, and I'm here with my sister, Leila. The date is December 18th, 2023, and we were recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, first question is, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Okay, okay. Um, okay. Do you have any siblings? What were they like growing up?
I had two siblings that I grew up with. One is you, and the other one is my younger brother by 10 months. His name was Isaiah. And we're all very close because we're close in age. So we're all very energetic and always fighting, always being crazy, but still having fun. My brother, Lucas, you, was very quiet, shy, and me and Isaiah were very loud and hectic. And we would always kind of just be crazy. We would live our life, and you'd just be in the corner, being quiet, reading your books, or doing something like that. Yeah.
Okay. What were your parents like?
Well, I like to describe my mom. My mom is she's calm when she wants to be, but at the same time, she's very fun, and outgoing, and talkative. She likes to be the life of the party, like joke around with us. She'd go on slides with us. She'd talk to us. She's all up in our business, like we're telling her all our business. She's telling us all her business. She's that mama you can count on. And she's just very involved in our lives, which I love. And I just love her.
How would you describe a perfect day when you were young?
A perfect day was when I went to a concert with my mom. It was the B96 concert, and Alessia Cara came out, and like other artists came out, and it was a perfect day because we started off. We got sushi that morning. It was a day where my brothers weren't home, and we got sushi in the morning. We came home. Then we got ready for the concert. Went to the concert. We had fun, sang our hearts out, lived our lives. We're recording everything, and just it was my first concert and my first day just with my mom with no brothers. It was just a very fulfilling, fun moment and day where I could do all the things I wanted to do and just accomplish all the things like I wanted to do in that one day.
What kind of student were you?
I was very academically focused when I was younger, and even currently to this day. I like to focus on my academics. I like to turn in my homework on time. I like to participate a lot in class. I like to always be out there talking, sharing my thoughts, sharing my ideas. I'm not really one to just like sit down and just listen to lecture and just when the teacher asks questions to not talk or not speak or anything. I like to engage in conversation and participate and talk to others about their opinions, and just I'm very academically focused, and I really like academics overall.
What was the most challenging thing you've experienced, um, while learning in school?
The most challenging thing I've experienced is that I can't do everything at once. When I was a little kid, I would just like do everything so fast and constantly move and constantly just like do everything, try to multitask. But something that I learned was that I have to put my time, my focus, and energy into one thing at a time, and spend my time and focus on that. And I think that was really hard for me because I'm very like fast-paced moving. I like to do a lot of things. I like to keep myself busy. So like when I realized I can't do everything all at once, and I have to slow down and spend my time like doing an essay that takes hours to do that essay, and I have to spend my time focusing on that. And I think that was very hard for me to understand or grasp when I was younger, and it's still hard to this day because I like to be like all over and very fast paced, and now like I have to learn to slow down on certain things.
So what is the biggest piece of advice you'd go back and give yourself?
Like in general, I think the biggest piece of advice is that don't be so hard on yourself. When I was little, I would push myself to do everything I could. I would do all the scholarships. I would do everything. I would do all the essays. I would do all these extracurricular activities. I would do everything and try to push myself and try to be the best Leila I could be. But I realized like I was always just so hard on myself. I was always just so judgmental of myself, being like I could do better, oh, I would put myself down over it. I would get upset over it. I would even cry over it. So even to this day, it's hard to get even like a bad grade or a semi-decent grade because I push myself and I know I can do better. But at the same time, life isn't just about academics, or life isn't just about one thing or another. It's about the whole picture. So I feel like if I could go back and tell myself one thing would be to calm down and to not be so hard on myself, so I could take like a breather and not be so all over the place and so just hectic all the time.
Okay. When you did work, what was your favorite thing about working at a job?
The one time I worked was over the summer actually, and it was at Backyard Library, and I was a teen ambassador. And the one thing I liked about that was I was able to talk to kids, but also like do teen activities. Like there was a youth media area, and I was able to learn how to do more computer stuff. I could do 3D printing. I learned how to do that. And it was hard sometimes because I have to focus on doing multiple things at once. But overall, a very fun, calming environment. And it was not like a real job. It was just like a after school matters job. So it was just something that like it was more calm and like more for teenagers or teen oriented. So it was more calm. I haven't had like a real job yet. But the job at the library was overall fun and a good experience to understand work ethic and to understand like timeliness and just overall like organization.
Okay. See, a big question. Do you believe in God?
I am believing God.
Okay. How has God how have you experienced God in your life?
I think it's just the everyday little things. Like I don't think God is like overall, oh, I pray for a miracle to happen and a miracle happens. Like I feel like it's just a small little reassurance thing. It's a small little like times where I feel like I can't do it, and I just like in my head I realize like, oh no, I have to push myself. I feel like that part is like God telling me I can continue to go like grow and to keep going and to like be stronger. Or like when life puts me down or something bad happens, instead of like knocking myself down over it, I know that like I have to keep going and I have to keep trying. And I feel like it's just those little things of reassurance in my head that aren't just me. And I feel like that's an impact that he has on me and just everyone else. Like it's the little things that matter.
If you met God and you could ask him 2 questions, what would those 2 questions be?
I would say, are you proud of me? 1. And 2, what can I do to make the earth better?
Why would you ask that?
I would ask if he's proud of me so that I understand like if I'm going on the right path, so I understand if everything's okay, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, if I'm should be nicer sometimes, if I should do things differently, and what can I do is I want to ask him what I would want to do so that I understand how I can contribute to this world and not just all like focusing on me and about me and everything's about me. I want to understand how I can help. Because what if I do have a big impact on the world? I want to ask him like, what can I do and what's my contribution? Because even a little contribution matters.
Speaking about big impacts in your life, let's talk about your family. Okay, let's get off spicy. Who's your favorite relative?
I have 2 favorite relatives. One's my mom. The other one's my grandma.
Any on your dad's side?
My cousin Ely.
Okay. Do you remember any stories or jokes that your family has told you and it's stuck with you?
Let me think. Oh, there was a story that my grandma told me when I was little about flowers. Because when I was little, I was really into flowers. And there was a story that my grandma told me that when a leaf comes off a flower, that doesn't mean that it's broken or torn apart or like there's something wrong with it. Like a new leaf grows and that flower continues to grow even through all the harsh conditions which is something my grandma, like, even though I was little, understood it. They understood, like, even though there's some parts of, like, bad aspects of your life, you can continue to grow, like, throughout the harsh conditions or throughout bad times. And I think that's, like, a story, but also a lesson that my grandma has told me.
Okay. This one goes a little deeper, but tell me about charcoal and white paws.
Well, Charcoal and White Paws were two of the dogs, or puppies. They were, like, dogs, but they were, like, very young, that we used to have, who died of lung problems and stomach problems. I miss them because me and my brothers were used to play with them and take turns walking them and just have fun. Like, we each had our own dog, since there's three of us, me and two of my siblings, and then there was three dogs. Fluffy, the one who's still alive, and then his brothers, Charcoal and White Paws. We would all have, like, an assigned dog, and we just have fun. And I think that realized, like, that showed me, like, life can go easily, unexpectedly, and it's good to miss them, and it's okay, but at the same time, it's not easy all the time, like, to think about him.
So, what has been the hardest thing about losing them?
I think the hardest thing, like, I feel like I tie them with my childhood. Like, I was very, when I lost them, I was more young. I was just more, like, lively, more positive about the world, and, like, when they died, it was my first real death in general, like, in the family. Like, I never really experienced, like, death with anyone close to me. So, like, when they died, it was, like, a part of me, I felt like a part of me was, like, losing myself, because I felt like, oh, what do I do now? Like, what happens now? And it was just, like, very hard. And it's hard like, to realize, like, oh, I miss them still, but there's nothing I can do about it.
What do you miss most about them?
I miss just playing with them and just having, like, walking them, running with them. I miss just, like, them being dumb, like, just playing with each other. I just miss, like, the little stuff.
When you were sad about your dog dying, what helped you most in your grief?
I think just having my other dog, I think that helped me, because, like, it was their brother, and it was the dog that I was closest to too, like, the one that I would walk more. And I think just, like, spending more time with him and holding him helped me more, like, just to not get over it, but just to not think about it as much.
Love and relationships. Do you have a love of your life?
Honestly, I don't know what a love of your life is yet, because I'm only 17. So I think that's too young to tell or decide, like, oh, this is my forever person. But I do have someone that I love, though. But I'm not sure if they're the love of my life.
Okay. Do you believe that love at first sight? Love at first sight?
No. I believe in attraction at first sight. I believe in liking someone at first sight. But I don't believe that you can just love someone just by the first look of them. Love is something you think about, you feel. It's an emotional connection after a while. It's not like, I just love you after I've only known you for 2 days, or I just saw you. Like, that's not possible. I don't think it's possible for anyone. Like, people who say, oh, I loved you from the moment I met you, I think that's wrong, and I think that's not true, because you can't just love someone you just met. You don't even know them. So I feel like love at first sight, I don't believe in it.
So speaking about love, what is the biggest lesson or takeaway you've learned from all your relationships, whether that be with your family or anyone?
I think that you have to learn how to balance things out, and just, how to explain it? You have to learn how to understand each other, like, and not put each other down. Like, everyone's different, no one's the same. And you have to learn how to, like, understand how their mind works and how their way of thinking works, and how their life has been before they've been involved with you. And they have to understand the same thing with you. Like, you had a life before them. You have to, like, be able to mesh the lives together, be able to have boundaries, and just love each other, but at the same time have your own selves. And I think what I learned was, like, you need to learn to understand each other and communicate. Because if you don't understand each other, then things are not going to work out. Even in, like, any relationship, like family or, like, loved ones. But you have to learn how to understand each other and communicate things out, so you understand, like, what each other are thinking.
Alright. Speaking of love, what would your definition of love be? What is love?
I think love is when you care for someone so deeply that you would do anything for them. Just the thought of losing them hurts. The thought of not seeing them again hurts. I think it's just something that you feel when you really truly care for them and you just want the best for them. I think love is just an emotion and something that never goes away. Like, you can never stop loving someone unless they do someone like something really hurtful. But even then, like, you still have that part of you that cares for them because you know what kind of person they are.
Do you think there are different types of love?
I think there are different types of love because, like, there's love where you love a sibling, but there's also love where you love a boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other. But there's also love where you love a parent. Even loving a sibling and loving a parent is not the same. Loving a mother is different from, like, oh, I love my brother. Yes, I love my brother, but, like, I'm still gonna argue with him. Versus my mom, like, it's different. It's different types of love, and it's different, like, ideas.
Okay. Finishing this off. Do you remember the best date you've ever went on?
The best
Or
date?
the best date or the first date you've ever went on?
Like, with my boyfriend? The best date? Oh. The best date was when we went to the mall. There's this mall called Riverside Mall. And before we went to the mall, we got sushi. Like, we went to the mall pretty late that day. And we got sushi before, which sushi is my favorite food. So, like, anytime I get sushi, it's fun. But it was the first time we went to go get sushi. And my boyfriend originally did not like sushi. But I was like, let's just go. You know, you could try it, see what you like. And he was like, no, I don't want to. Like, what if I don't like it? And I'm like, if you don't like it, then we can just leave. He liked it. Like, he tried it and he loved it. Like, he loved the sushi. We ate it all. We ordered more. And then we went to the mall. We spent time with each other. We ate ice cream. We bought clothes. We watched the movie in the movie theater. And it was just overall, like, a good day. Like, I did stuff that I liked and he did stuff that he liked. It was overall just, like, a fun day.
What about your first date?
My first date? My first date was when I was in sophomore year of high school. And we went to Busy Burger, this burger place. And we were both very awkward. It was my first date ever with the current boyfriend that I'm with. And, or with any boyfriend. And we were both just very awkward. Like, we ordered our food. We sat down. And it was just very, like, awkward and intimidating. Like, I was scared to talk. He was scared to talk. We both, like, were just kind of on our phones. But, like, would talk to each other every once in a while. And it was just very awkward. But, like, when the conversation started, then, like, I had a good time. But, like, before that, for, like, 30 minutes, we were just sitting there. Like, none of us would eat our food. Because it was during COVID. So, like, we had our masks. And none of us wanted to take down our mask or eat our food. None of us wanted to, like, talk. We were just very scared. But then once that happened, we were able to talk. And, like, figure, like, just have a good conversation.
Okay. Thank you for your time today. We've had a great conversation about a lot of things. And thank you very much.